Good God, what a butt fucking that was. Dry, gapage, no lube, blood everywhere.
Why would you wish that upon me?
I fucked myself. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to me and Kyle's little podcast here about the league. Week one's over. Football's back. How do you feel about that, Kyle?
It is awesome, man. But yeah, as we know, it was close.
Wait a second. That's all you have to say? It was good to have football back? I mean, I damn near cried.
No, it was awesome. I mean, the Falcons ruined it a little bit, but
yeah,
we knew that coming in.
Well, I mean, you guys, I don't know. I watched that whole game and it was very fun to watch. But Chris Carson, man,
gosh,
dude, and I played against him, and we'll get into that later. But I mean, first week starts with the Chiefs primetime Thursday night, and boy, did my homies look good.
They did look good, and
my God.
Travis Kelce, he balled out. David Johnson balled out, so I was pretty stoked about that.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, anyways, we'll get into that later. But yeah, it was great to have football back. So what we're gonna do moving forward, guys, is that every Tuesday, me and Kyle are gonna come on here. And just kind of recap the week about, the fantasy football week for us, what we liked, didn't like, talk shit, obviously. And then also, we're going to start each podcast off with a 2 to 3 minute, little, summarization clip, whatever you want, of the person who scored the most points in that week. And unfortunately, that was Kyle this week. So Kyle, go ahead and, take it away.
Yep, I'm gonna grab the mic for this one. So this is our top score victor moment brought to you by KY Jelly this week. And Taylor, it was a close battle. I scored 3 more points than Taylor. And all I gotta say for myself and my team, the KY Jellies, is we continued our success from last season. The champ, he remains the top dog. And going forward, it's going to take a hell of a performance to knock me off this throne. And that's my top score, victor moment.
Okay, I'm glad that's over. So let's go ahead and move into, I guess, let's go ahead and review each matchup this week, and then we'll go from there. So I guess the first one we had Kyle versus KY Jellies versus Eli's dumb fucking face, and good God, what a butt fucking that was.
Yeah, and what was interesting about this week is we had a bunch of blowouts. We had a couple close games in the league and then a bunch of blowouts. And another thing, guys, all y'all were up in the chat talking about this player, that player. We just need to take a step back, breathe. It's week one.
It's week one. There's a lot of anomalies that happened. First of all, Kyle beat Thomas 157 to 88. God damn. Obviously, you had Ezekiel Elliott, Aaron Rodgers, David Johnson. He only had 13. It's not bad. Oh, no, he had 19. Excuse me. Wrong column. DK Metcalf, Chris had 13. So, the Tampa Bay struggle, we'll get into that later. Anyway, and then going to Thomas's side, God, James Conner, what a disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler Boyd, what a disappointment. Mark Ingram, what a disappointment. And he didn't start Kyler Murray.
Just going down this roster, James Conner obviously got hurt first couple drives, 2 points. DJ Moore, 9 points. Tyler Boyd, 7 points. Mark Ingram, 2 points. Is it the J.K. Dobbins show in Baltimore now?
I don't know. I think they're playing against Cleveland, and they're like, hey, let's give the rookie some work. I don't expect that to happen every week. Looking at Thomas's bench, the only person I'm starting is Kyler Murray over Drew Brees. Drew Brees is playing against Tampa Bay's defense, which is pretty tough. So is Frisco's, but Kyler's a younger guy. He's mobile.
Yeah. He had the rushing yards. So he had a high floor there. So that probably would have been the better play. It wouldn't have helped him this week, but
destroyed him.
What about the injuries on Thomas's team now?
Hang on. Yeah, James Conner got hurt.
James Conner, he got hurt. Devontae Parker, he got hurt. He re-injured his hamstring that he's been dealing with throughout camp. And then Marlon Mack, we all know what happened to him. Torn Achilles, out for the year. And Chris Thompson at this point is probably just droppable.
Yeah, Thomas has got some shit to figure out. Again, it's only week 1, but if we're going off of just week 1, I mean, Thomas is in panic mode.
Yeah, he's got all these injuries, and I project Thomas to be heavy in on the waiver wire this week.
Yeah, I do too, and I think that, he's gotta have, he's only got Alvin. I mean, he's gonna play Matt Breida. I mean, God, and they played against a New England defense that...
Gosh.
And, New England's classically sucks on defense the first half of the season, then gets better. So, I mean, again, with that offensive line that Miami has, they're going to be struggling. Thomas has definitely got some work to do. Kyle, fuck you. Your team looks great. Moving on.
All right, so let's move on to the next matchup. We have Kyle Worley, Show Me Your TDs, and Taylor Tucker's Diddy.
Yeah, I mean, again, kind of not as big as a butt fucking that Thomas got. His butt fucking was pretty dry, gapage, no lube, blood everywhere. This one still a little rough, but he's got some lube, maybe even a condom. And so the butt fuckage on this one wasn't as bad. But again, Taylor, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Taylor's team went the fuck off.
Dude, is this not Taylor's best team that he's ever had in fantasy football?
He's got Cammy, who had 25 points. Josh Jacobs, 35 points, who he drafted in the first round. Now, there was obviously some things, and I was actually texting Aaron about this, because every week, guys, if you want to talk shit about Aaron's picks and his takes, I text them those because I think they're hilarious. So I told him all of the comments that were made. Josh Jacobs went the fuck off. First pick. Did. You gotta you gotta give it to Taylor,
Oh yeah, definitely gotta give him to him. Beat Kyle Worley by 52. And I fully expected if Taylor would have won the top score victor moment, he would have got on here and blasted me, you, and Aaron for calling his picks sort of trash.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would have done the same thing if I was in his shoes.
Definitely. I mean, his bench is looking nice too.
Only person that he didn't play was Nyheim Hines, and he had 26 points, and that's because Marlon Mack got hurt. So now you're looking at Cam Newton, Josh Jacobs, and Nyheim Hines, who's going to get all the workload. So, I mean, right now, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Taylor's got a pretty scary team.
Yeah, he's definitely in a good spot here.
Crowder, great shot, great pick. Mark Andrews, great. Terry it's going to take some time, but Josh Jacobs, Cam Newton, Julio. I mean, damn, is this team that good?
Dude, this is definitely one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the league right here. Definitely a contender for the playoffs so far.
Now let's go to this shit show on the left-hand side here.
Okay. Mahomes is going to do Pat Mahomes things. 20 is probably his floor.
Yeah, but first-round pick.
Yeah, see, that's where...
that's where it's kind of tough because... that Pat Mahomes was his highest point total, right? I mean, he had Robbie Anderson, who had, is that 18 or 10? I can't see.
That's 10. Okay, no, 25.
Oh, look at the wrong. Okay, yeah, 25. And he had Daniel Jones, who had 17. So, I mean, I'm looking at his team, Melvin Gordon. He ain't gonna do shit with Denver. Denver's gonna suck this year. Now Lindsey did get a little, what's the word? Not beat up, but I think he hurt his hand or something, but he said it was fine. Rob Gronkowski didn't do shit, which brings me into my next point about the Bucks. It's only week 1. I'm not going to panic, but my prediction is starting to look a little accurate.
Yeah, and those of y'all who don't know, I may have cut it out of the other podcast. Me and Malcolm have a side bet that Tom Brady over or under 4,200 passing yards. I said over. Malcolm obviously said under. Loser has to eat the hottest chip in the world, and we'll stream that on the YouTube channel.
Yes. But I've also said, was that our bet? Jesus, I was probably drinking. Anyway, I'm still down for it. What I'm saying is that there's too many weapons on the offense, and the talk is Tom Brady the GOAT, or is he the GOAT? Is he the best quarterback of all time, or is he the best quarterback of all time in the system? Like the Belichick system. And so I really think that Tampa Bay is not going to be well this year. I think Tom Brady's not going to do well. The last time Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions in the game was how long ago?
Oh, I can't even remember.
And good point on Max Kellerman. Shout out. I mean, I don't like what he says a lot, but me and him agree on this point. Cam Newton, right? You put Tom Brady in that situation, he's 1-0. Now he's 0-1 because the Belichick system, it keeps plugging away. And now Tom Brady's got to figure this stuff out. I just don't believe in Tampa Bay. They have too many weapons. Mike Evans had 3 yards catching. He had 3 yards, I think. Seriously, 1 reception, 3 yards, or something ridiculous like that.
But anyway, I think his catch was for a touchdown. We'll check that later.
Was it really?
I believe it was, but yeah.
Okay. Now, they did play the Saints, so I understand.
Yeah, he was shadowed by Lattimore all game, so he sort of got shut down.
Well, yeah, and I think that I think Tom Brady has a mediocre year. And, you know, say what you will, but, you know, Peyton Manning left and you saw his success. Moving on. Anyway. Yep. So let's go to my matchups. Cal, tell me, you go first.
Alright, so this is the last matchup in the North Division. All these games so far have been divisional opponents. We had the losers, Charlie Buck, beating Phillip Rivers Abortion Clinic 123-111. And this was probably our closest game, our second closest game of the week.
Closest.
Yeah, so Lamar Jackson, he had 27 points.
Yeah.
He did his thing. Chris Carson played the Falcons, so you know what he's gonna do. Charlie actually didn't have Le'Veon Bell. He got hurt during the game. He had Tyreek Hill. He sort of did okay. Jarvis Landry did okay. Hunter Henry did okay. He played Kerryon Johnson. I don't know if he just didn't have anybody else to play. He got him 1 point though. The Saints defense popped off. They had that interception return for a touchdown.
That's what killed me. That's what beat me, his defense.
Yeah, it is. And then looking to your side of the score here, Carson Wentz, 12 points. You really thought he was going to have a better game than he did against Washington.
Oh my God, dude. The 2 picks. How many points is it for a pick to take away from a quarterback?
I think 2.
Oh, was it 2? Okay. So he would have had 14.
Yeah. And then CEH, he looked really great. Kenyon Drake, he looked good. Woods looked good. And you played Sammy Watkins, the week 1 hero.
I picked him up, and I said Sammy's going to go the fuck off in our last podcast. I don't think you put that in there, but I said to Aaron, play Sammy on your same-day matchups because he's going to go off this game. And I said, did I not say he was going to have like 2 touchdowns and 80 yards?
Yeah, you really called that one.
How many yards did he have? 78 receiving?
Yeah, and he did Sammy Watkins things. Let's hope he can continue it into week 2, week 3, week 4.
I'm dropping his ass. It's not going to happen again.
All right, and then tight end, you had Hayden Hurst. He only had 6 points. He was really underperforming there.
Dude, he had so many targets that game that, anyway.
And then instead of playing Amari Cooper, who had 18, you put in Gallup, who had 8. The Tennessee defense only gave you 3, which was very surprising last night. I still thought you had a chance with all the injuries to Denver's receiving core, and then Lindsey got hurt. So, yeah. How do you feel?
I don't know how I lost this week. Like, I really don't. Like, it's just, I'm still not understanding. I made a really smart play in Sammy Watkins. Like, really smart. But even if I played Amari, I would have won. But Carson Wentz fucked me. He didn't have a good game. And then the Saints D, take away 7 points?
Yeah.
I mean, now it's what? It's 115 to 111 maybe. So I don't know. I just think that Lamar and Chris Carson going the fuck off, have the Saints defense almost give you 20 points. I hope this isn't the way the year's gonna go, because it's how it was last year. I make smart moves and I still lose. So anyway, look, if you scroll down though, something very interesting. Look at Chase Edmonds, how many points he had.
Yeah, Chase Edmonds, he had a good game. He had 12. I believe he had a touchdown.
Look at Adrian Peterson. How many points did he have?
Yeah, so That trade's looking a little bit better.
No, come on, man. That's looking
No,
good.
I would say the trade still favors Kevin a little bit, but Adrian Peterson, I mean, the dude ran like his hair was on fire. My man, he was running over people.
Hey, I'm telling you, when I gotta get rid of, when Kenyon Drake's on a bye or Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I would not feel bad about throwing Adrian Peterson, just saying. Anyway, and I pray Zico gets hurt. Come on, man.
Yeah, and then we look at Charlie's bench. Deshaun Watson, 20. Matt Ryan, 24. Anthony Miller, 17. Jared Cook, 13. Mike Williams, 10. So his bench, he has a good bench.
Fuck him. I'm mad. Moving on.
Okay. So now we're going to go to the South Division here. And our first matchup, we had the Law and Order Trade Rape Unit, Kevin, defeating Hernandez Homicidal Homies, 117-103. And what do you see in this matchup?
Well, the Law and Order Trade Rape Unit raped Hernandez's homicidal asshole. So
he did.
This butt fucking wasn't bad, but it was like he still got butt fucked. No, I mean I'm looking at Kevin's team here. Saquon got shut the fuck down. That was insane. Steelers defense, I mean I watched it, that was incredible. DeAndre Hopkins I think is the highlight of Kevin's team. I mean, Aaron really fucking was not high on him, and then Aaron actually texted me. Let me read this text on the podcast.
Yeah, while you find that, I'm just gonna say I'm not high on DeAndre Hopkins this year either, but his week 1 performance was very impressive, and we'll just have to see. It's week 1, so we'll take a step back and see if he can repeat those numbers.
So this was Aaron's text. I was dead wrong, all caps, about Hopkins. 40% target share week 1. Now, wow. Aaron did say definitely some things that we got right, though. Inefficiency from OBJ, but saw 10 plus targets. Low snap share for Gurley. Huge air yardage for DK Metcalf. Big TD share for Ridley. Minimal usage for Hooper. But he said that for Hopkins really has no excuse. So, again, I mean, if I'm Kevin, I'm looking at my chops right now. I gave you 30. I gave you 29. Morstead gave you 24. And that really saved your week because if you look at if you look at Don's the week 1 again, Don, I'm not shitting on you. I kind of am, but I'm not. What I'm saying is that your team looked really good when you drafted. And I think you're going to fall into that case of, oops.
Yeah, his team did look good. And Kevin basically beat Don with 4 guys. Hopkins, Mostert, Barkley, and Stafford. Literally 4 guys.
That's it.
All his other players were under 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, and then Keenan Allen, I just think that with Phillip Rivers gone, he's not going to be a threat. Boston Scott only has 6. He was supposed to be upside. I know it's week 1. Aaron Jones went off. Or Russell Wilson. Good God. What a pick you have at quarterback, dude.
Yeah, again, that's playing the Falcons defense. There's no surprise there. He only had 4 incompletions the whole game.
Now look at Don's bench. Don's got Noah Fant. That's a great pick. I mean, he's going to be... Drew Lock played quarterback at Missouri, and I watched him for 4 years. And I'm telling you right now, I would be starting Noah Fant over Darren Waller every week.
Yeah.
Every week. If people know about Darren Waller, they don't know about Noah Fant.
Yeah, I think Boston Scott on Don's lineup, he either gets dropped or moved to the bench because now, looky here, Matt gets hurt and Jonathan Taylor becomes the number 1 in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but still got Nyheim Hines, man.
You got Nyheim Hines eating up all the passing game, so...
Didn't Debo get hurt?
Yeah, Debo, he's on IR now. And then I believe Don had another injury, too. Yeah, Michael Thomas, he's high ankle sprain, so you know how long that can stick with a player.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Don's going to fall into the category of I drafted a really good team, but he's going to have to do a lot of strategic things to recover off the waiver wire in order to ultimately get where he wants to be. George Kittle got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, on Kevin's team, Kittle sprained his knee or something. So
yeah, Kittle got hurt. I know he walked off on himself, but I mean, because Kittle had 8, but he got hurt, so... I mean, Kevin, if if Mostert and Hopkins do really well, he's got A.J. Brown who looked pretty good. You know, they did play Denver's defense. Tennessee looked a little weird to me. It was one of those ugly games. Montgomery only had 8, so out of week 1, my trade's looking good. Peterson had 14.
Yeah, and Kevin
Curtis
also
Samuel.
picked up. Yeah, he can drop Curtis Samuel. I don't know what he's doing there. But Malcolm Brown, he popped off, had 25. He looked really good for the Rams.
Wait a second. Is he on his bench? I don't see him.
Yeah.
Oh, 25. Good God.
Yeah, so Kevin might be looking to take the lead in the South Division.
He could start. Now he's got Mostert, Barkley, and Malcolm Brown. That's a solid running back core. And he's got Swift. What did Joe Burrow score?
13? He got 15, so that's average.
Not bad.
Yeah.
He didn't look bad either. Anyway, okay. Yeah, moving on.
All right, sort of another semi-blowout here. We got a Party Like a Gronk star, Joey. He fell to This Ain't No Dolphin Tale, 88 to 117. You want to go over Joey's team here?
Yeah. Garoppolo had 18. Okay. Derrick Henry 15. I mean, that's his floor, right? Yeah. Singletary had 10. He's sharing touches with Zach Moss. That's kind of Odell Beckham. I mean, Aaron called that. I mean, I don't want any part of anything Cleveland ever. Like,
yeah, especially playing Baltimore
nightmare.
too. Mm-hmm. Baltimore shut them down.
He had Edelman who had 12. That was like Cam's best friend. That kind of scares me. But anyway, Zach Ertz, Eagles. That's going to be tough. Marvin Jones had 9. I like that pick. I mean, he's probably going to do well. They did lose to Chicago, close game. I think that Marvin Jones does a lot better. His bench, I mean, he kind of played the right people.
He sort of maximized all he could this week. He did have 2 injuries, Cortland Sutton, Miles Sanders. So
that's right.
Once he gets those guys back, he should be straight.
Should be okay. Moving to Biko, obviously, he's got McCaffrey. McCaffrey did his thing. My prediction was he gets hurt this year. It's not looking like it. But Biko has Darius Slayton. Ooh. Let's talk about this guy for a second.
My man went off.
Me. And I think that's not going to be like a 1 week thing, the way it was looking. I mean, that was against Pittsburgh, bro.
Yeah, and I was trying to decide during the draft, do I draft Deontay Johnson or do I draft Darius Slayton? And now looking back on it, after week 1 though, I should have took Slayton, but we'll see how this turns out. Josh Allen, 27 points.
I mean, guys, Biko was going to give me Slayton for Montgomery straight up.
Yeah, that deal was looking a little bit sweeter now.
I mean, I fucked myself on there. I mean, I know Biko's my brother, but goddamn, I could have had Slayton as another receiver. Anyway, Biko, shout out to you, man. You've got Darius Slayton, and he's probably not going to get you 28 every week, but it's looking like he's going to get you at least 15, 14, 16 around there. I mean, you can't be mad. You got Lockett, Juju went off. Cooper. Eric Ebron, kind of a disappointment. Cooper. I mean, if I'm you, I'm putting Cooper on the bench and I'm playing Darius Slayton every week now. I mean, you got to. You can't not play him.
Yeah, shout out to Biko too, man. I mean, he was a sticker bee this year and he started off week 1 with a win. He started off the Olympics, won the Olympics. Could he go for another one and win the league?
Biko's looking a little hot right now. His team's not, but anyway, no, you gotta give it to Biko. I mean, the only thing about Biko's team is Philip Lindsay. Dude, get them the fuck off that lineup. What are you doing?
Dude, 5th round pick, Philip Lindsay, get him out of here.
Come on. He get a little hurt. I mean, he's got Melvin Gordon. Like, Denver's offense is a shit show. The only people who are gonna do well on the offense is maybe Judy and Fant, and that's it. You gotta get rid of him. Start someone else, man. Stephon Diggs had 16.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs, quiet 16 points, and
But Josh Allen, 27. Darius Slayton, 28. Yeah, anyway, yeah.
Biko's loaded up on wide receivers. I think he needs another running back, but
I think so too.
So moving on, we got Brandon and another blowout.
Goal.
Suck my fickin' dick, 146. Orangutan titties, 73. And this one is not surprising on what Brandon's did, but it's sort of surprising because Mike is usually one of our stronger players here.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Brandon's team, Devontae Adams, 41. Was it the highest this week?
That was the highest score this week, Devontae Adams.
Good God. I mean, that's just... He's playing with Aaron. I mean, I don't know what to say. That guy's going to be dangerous every week. I don't care who they play. They're going to... then he's got Dalvin Cook, 22. He did his thing. Will Fuller had 19. Obviously, he's going to kind of be the next Hopkins wannabe iffy guy in Houston.
Yeah.
Thielen had 31?
Yeah, he had 31. He had a good game because...
Holy shit, I didn't even know that. What the fuck's Brandon doing over there? He got Ridley on the bench. Calvin had 34?
He had 34. He had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. And yeah, I mean, here's another team that's loaded up. Got pissed off Aaron Rodgers throwing to the freak Devontae Adams. I mean, just look at how bad this score could have been. Goff only had 10. Kareem Hunt had a down game with 11. His tight end only had 2.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's got J.K. and Calvin really to play with every week. Brandon's gonna be the sleeper. Fuck.
Yeah, J.K. looked nice.
Again, it's week 1. This is all based off of week 1. Don't anyone get their panties in a wad, but I'm just saying. Anyway, and we'll talk about the anomalies after we review everyone's week. And then Micah's team.
Yeah, Micah's team, Dak Prescott, he did okay. He had 17. His running backs really frickin' did not show up to the matchup. 5 and 5 for Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon.
Nick Chubb was a tough pick. I mean, I don't know. You're playing Baltimore, man.
Yeah, I feel like Nick Chubb is going to have these games all year. He's going to have 5, 7, and then when he plays somebody like Cincinnati, he'll have 30.
Yeah, and then you guys scroll down to Micah's bench.
Yeah, really.
I mean, God, what a disappointment all around, really, for Micah this week.
Yeah, maybe Kenny Golladay gets back healthy. Leonard Fournette takes over the Bucs backfield, and then
I don't know, man. They like Ronald, man. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I was trying to trade Ronald earlier before week 1, and then I watched a little bit of the game, and he runs hard, and they fed him the rock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up for some trading, by the way. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, to kind of review the scoreboard, right? I mean, you've got week 1, Kyle, Taylor, Pico, and Brandon. Really, I mean, those are some strong teams week 1. I mean, it's scary. Disappointing for Thomas, disappointing for Micah, and Joey. I mean, those guys, they got to do some things. They got some injuries they got to deal with. So let's go ahead and move to week 2. Let's look at some matchups we got going on here. So Kyle, you're playing Worley.
Yeah, I'm playing Worley, so I get the Pat Mahomes matchup here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got that on lock. We'll see.
Yeah, right now I'm projected 127 to his 90 something.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do something. I mean, Eckler didn't have a good game. Anyway, yeah, so that'll be, we'll see about that one. Then you got Taylor versus Charlie.
Yeah, so this is 2 1-0 teams right here, squaring off.
Yeah, I mean, again, with Lamar, Carson, I mean, he's got Hill, you know. I don't know, but Taylor's team, I gotta pick Taylor in this one. I mean, I don't know. I think Taylor's just looking solid right now. It's hard to not look at his team and go, fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Taylor. He already put Hines in the lineup here, so.
Hell yeah, he's on it.
My man's on it. I feel like Taylor's going to win this one pretty handily.
Yeah. And then you got me and Thomas are playing. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, this one is really interesting because the loser goes to 0-2. And this year, we have 6 playoff teams, so that cuts a week out of the regular season now. So we only have 12 or 13 regular season matchups. So 0-2 is going to be a little bit of a tough hole to crawl out of for whoever loses this game.
It is, and I mean, I got a feeling that Thomas, you know, everyone's gonna go off on his team, and now he's got Kyler Murray starting, right? He knows.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna be weak at running back though. He has James Conner who's hurt, Mark Ingram who we don't know the work share in that backfield.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to start who he has. I mean, Marlon Mack's out. Unless he picks up someone super crazy. And then for me, I mean, I'm definitely taking Sammy out. Yeah, this is probably game of the week, if I have to say. I mean, just because we're both 0-1.
Yes, this is going to be a pivotal game right here in the league.
It is. We'll see.
All right, moving on to our next matchup. We got Joey versus Kevin. So this is another 0-1 versus 1-0 matchup. And
Kevin's 2-0. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at his team's pretty stacked, yeah.
And Joey's team's pretty boo-boo.
Yeah, and he has a couple guys still injured, so that's going to set him back.
Yeah. Don versus Brandon, that's kind of interesting. I think Don's team might do a little bounty back. I mean, he's got John Brown starting now. It's smart. He's got Noah Fant. That's smart. He does have Jonathan Taylor. Maybe Jonathan Taylor has a couple touchdowns, at the goal line.
Yeah, this is going to be a close matchup, I think, too. I think maybe Don's team has a little positive regression, and maybe Brandon's team has a little negative regression.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get – Brandon's not – he's probably the biggest team that had the anomaly of week one, which there were a lot of. Devontae, his floor might be, high teens, low 20s, but he's not going to give you 41. You're not going to have 3 or 4 players, above 25 points every week. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a close game, and it's going to be interesting to see who wins this one. Because if Don goes 0-2, you might be out of the playoffs, buddy.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, let's just be real. Moving to the next one, the last one, you've got Biko versus Micah. I mean, based off Micah's week last week, I mean, he's got Allen Lazard as a receiver too. Yeah, I think Biko kind of boo-foos Micah here this week and gets a W, and Biko moves to 2-0.
And that would be pretty awesome for Biko, moving to 2-0. That would put Micah 0-2, so he'd have a hole to dig out of, but Biko would have a nice little 2-0 cushion there.
Yeah, now let's look at these games this week real quick.
All right, so we're going to look at minutes. Yeah, we'll look at the NFL games. Thursday, we got a divisional matchup. We got the Bengals versus the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow could potentially go the fuck off that game, so Kevin might want to start him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe this is the game where, like I was talking about earlier, Nick Chubb comes back to life, and him and Kareem Hunt can make some magic here.
Falcons Cowboys, that's going to be a good one.
All right, so yeah, Falcons Cowboys, that's going to be a good one. Neither team has a good defense, so this is just going to be a shootout. So you're definitely playing Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper, Julio. I might play
Gallup and Cooper.
Yeah, Julio, Calvin Ridley. You're definitely playing those guys because this could be like a 42-49 shootout.
Or it could be a defensive game. But
the Falcons don't have a defense, so that's not possible.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go to a different game I like here. Panthers Buccaneers. That could be a game. I mean, wow. There's not a lot of good matchups this week. I'm trying to think in a fantasy perspective. I mean, the Chiefs offense against the Chargers defense. Ugh.
Yeah, that's probably
you might want to start all Chiefs players there.
Yeah, and start their defense because Tyrod Taylor looked like doo-doo.
And then you got Ravens versus Texans, man. I mean, you saw what the Chiefs offense did against Texas. Lamar might fuck off again.
Lamar Jackson is about to blow up. And then probably one of the better matchups, we got Patriots Seahawks. So Cam Newton versus Russell Wilson. That could be sort of interesting.
Yeah. Maybe, Seattle's defense is not too bad. I mean, dude, Jamal Brown looked amazing. I'm sorry. But that dude was all over the field. The safety for the Seahawks.
Oh, Jamal Adams? Yeah.
What did I say? Brown? Yeah, Jamal Adams. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That trade definitely worked out for them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the games here, and not a lot of, from a football sense, any really good games. I mean, Lions-Packers is a classic, but I think the game of the week is easily Falcons-Cowboys. Easily. Yeah,
that's two teams, sort of like a lot of teams in this league. 0-1, if you go 0-2, sort of puts a damper on your season.
Yeah.
And then the Monday night game, we got Saints and Raiders, so that'll be interesting to see after the Sunday night games. There'll be some fantasy players in that game.
Yeah, that's very true. We got week one was great. From a football standpoint, we really got to see from a fantasy standpoint, a lot of players, but that kind of brings us into those anomalies. I mean, I just don't think that a lot of these players are gonna do as well as they did week one. I just really don't. I think that you're gonna see a little bit more, consistency from the guys who are supposed to do well and the guys who kind of came out of nowhere and went the fuck off. I just don't think you're going to see that week too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the power rankings. We're going to do it on the podcast every week as opposed to Kyle sending it out to text message. So right now in last three, you've got Thomas at number 10. You got Joey at number 11 and Micah obviously dead last.
Yeah, so the last three, this is basically the bottom of the league. Y'all are going to have to step it up. Because what y'all did this week was pretty terrible.
Yeah. Now we're going to move into the next three, which is what I'm in. I mean, I got to step it up too. You've got Dawn at number 7, Worley at 8, and me at 9, with a picture of Phillip Rivers and his family.
With Malcolm creepily staring in the background at his little daughters or something.
Yes.
So this is what we're going to call on the bubble. So 7 through 9, we have 6 playoffs teams this year. So obviously the person in the 7 spot could have a big game and jump up into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, really, any of those spots, really, I mean, you're going to move to 1-1, so that might put you in the middle. Anyway, so now we're going to go to the next 3. We got 4, 5, 6. So, Brandon's at 4, Biko's at 5, Charlie's at 6. Fuck Charlie, that should be me in that spot, not him. So these guys would be, I guess, going into the playoffs technically.
Yeah, so these guys are in the playoff bubble, and as y'all probably already guessed, the top 6 are all the 1-0 members. So
yeah,
some of y'all might be wondering, why do you have Brandon at number 4 when his team put up the 3rd most points? We'll get to that in a second when we go to our next top 3.
Yeah, so you got Kyle at number 1. Damn, I just realized
Shout
out. Yeah, you had the most points. I mean, you won last year to be number 1. Kyle at number 2, and then Taylor's at number 3.
Yeah, so I'm number 1. Obviously, I won the championship last year, won week 1, so I'm gonna have to get knocked off my throne for somebody to take over the top spot. Kevin, he's number 2. And the reason Kevin is number 2, not Taylor, who had the 2nd highest scoring week, is because Kevin was in the 2019 championship game against me, and then in week 1, he had a come from behind win against Don, so he really showed up there. So that's why I put him number 2.
Absolutely. And again, you know, every week, guys, these aren't going to be, you know, a super long podcast. I know the first 2 or 3 we had Aaron on, and that was before the draft. Now that we're rocking and rolling, we just want to give a weekly recap, talk some shit, and really kind of look forward to what we got going on next.
Yeah, I'm excited for week 2. Hopefully my man Aaron Rodgers can keep doing his thing, and hopefully one of y'all can take over the top score and get on here and sound off.
Well, let me leave you with this before we go.
Here's some words of wisdom from
Ezekiel Elliott. I hope he breaks his fucking leg, tears an ACL.
Why would you wish that upon me?
I also hope that Christian McCaffrey rips his ACL and gets hurt or injured for the rest of the year.
These aren't words of wisdom. These are.
I also hope
words
Alvin
of despair.
Kamara. I also wish Alvin Kamara. I hope Alvin Kamara gets in a car accident and destroyed. His parents can't even recognize his face.
Oh my gosh. Are we gonna have a Malcolm moment of the week every week where you just go and wish injuries upon everybody else's starting running backs?
Except for mine. Absolutely.
Old Kenyon Drake walking boot looking so.
Oh, I hope he stays healthy. Yeah, that's really all I got for week 2.
Yeah. I'm excited for week 2. To close it out, do you want to do a come on, man? See, you have anything that you want to get off your chest? Anybody you want to call out?
I mean, I want to call out fucking Charlie. This guy drafted 3 quarterbacks, and he obviously was trying to throw away his draft. I go on the podcast and defend him against Aaron. Charlie was like, well, thanks, man. Oh, here's my dick. Insert it in your butt. It's like, I just don't understand. I mean, my team, I made the smart plays. I don't understand why I didn't win. I'm really angry, and I really, 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 really hope that that's not how the rest of the year goes. Because I am not good at eating challenges, and I will puke and be miserable if I'm in Waffle House.
Alright, so for my come on, man, I want to just call out the rest of the league. Like, y'all are gonna have to step it up. I mean, Taylor, 154 points. That's weak. It's not 157. Brandon, 146. That's not 157. Y'all need to step it up, especially you, Thomas, Micah, Joey, Malcolm.
God. No, hey!
John. Kyle Worley. All y'all losers, shout out. Week 1 winners, what's up?
Okay. Anyway.
Shout out week 1 losers, y'all suck.
Anyways, all right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next Tuesday.
Out.